What's up, guys? It's Quandale Dingle here. I have been arrested for multiple crimes, including battery on a police officer, grand theft, declaring war on Italy, and public indecency.
When I was in primary school, I played a prank on the school janitor. I went to the toilet pretending to have stage 4 diarrhea, and I asked my friend to tell the janitor that I needed help. However, when the janitor knocked on the bathroom door, I opened the door before his fist could even hit the door, and in one swift motion, I pulled his face into the toilet bowl and released a world record stage 5 explosive diarrhea directly into his left eye socket. Anyways, let's check out more of your school confessions. Before, I had a crush on a student, and well, she was adorably cute. So one day I heard that she liked lemonade, so you know what I had to do. After giving her my pee in a cup, she drank it at lunchtime, but after she started vomiting on her desk at 6th period. So that didn't turn out great. She started avoiding me after that, and so I started stalking her and taking pictures of her in her own house. This all happened a month ago, and I'm still stalking her. Any recommendations to stop? I mean, do you really need recommendations to stop? How hard is it to just stop? Isn't like that extremely weird behavior? I assume with any weird behavior, it would be very easy to stop because you would know, like deep down inside, this is not right. This is not okay to do. You even take pictures of her inside her own house. That is unbelievably creepy. Like, imagine if you're just chilling in your own house playing Fortnite, you look outside the window, someone has like a 4K camera just snapping photos of you for no reason at all. But concerningly, this is not the weirdest thing about this confession. She liked lemonade, and so you pissed in a cup and made her drink it. Are you serious? How can piss be anything remotely like lemonade? Like, yes, it's yellow, they're both yellow, but wouldn't you be able to smell the piss from a mile away? No wonder why she vomited on her desk during the 6th period. Bro, why are you just so oddly specific about this? So yeah, you are not normal. You are honestly not normal. I think you need some help. I don't think this is quite Get Out. You need some help. There is something mentally wrong with you. Once I was in a school bathroom with my friend and we were playing around in the bathroom and he went to go take a piss. So another kid tried to poo in the urinal. I don't know why, so I said, "What the frick are you doing?" And he said, "I'm scared of skibidi toilets." I was in 7th grade and that kid was in 1st grade, and so I could imagine how brain rotted he was, and so I wiped the poo all over his face and I got expelled. Bro, you need to calm down. But at the same time, I do not blame you. Maybe I would do the same thing. In GTA, I would maybe do the same thing. Because how can a 1st grade kid be genuinely scared of skibidi toilets so much that they refuse to actually poo in the, like, legit toilet? Because how old are you when you're in 1st grade? You're like 7 years old. Bro, how can you be so stupid at 7 years old that you think the actual toilet is going to turn into skibidi toilet and just diddle you? Like, just look at this. It's a toilet. How can you be possibly scared of a toilet at 7 years old? But honestly, I think you may have gone a little bit too far. You're going to wipe his own poo all over his face purely because he tried to poo in a urinal? I'm pretty sure even I've pooed in a urinal before, but of course, you know, it was obviously a joke. It wasn't like legit. I wasn't scared of skibidi toilet or something. So honestly, yeah, this is slightly questionable. It's only slightly questionable. One day, my cousin made me a haircut, and it was so ass that even the teacher and my crush flamed me. So I went to the barber, and they kind of fixed my hair, but it was so short, and my friends pointed it out. They were right, so I went the next day wearing a wig because I thought it would look better. And everyone took pics of me, and so I peed my pants out of embarrassment. Then the teacher saw and took everyone's phones and deleted the pic, and I went home crying like a pussy. I mean, I think everyone's been through that. Like, everyone has been through a bad haircut. Because even recently, bro, like 2 years ago, like I had a pretty shocking haircut. There was a bit of some miscommunication between me and the barber, but I still rocked up to university and hoped that nobody would notice. But yeah, okay, everyone could see it was a pretty messed up haircut. And I got flamed. I got absolutely flamed, but honestly, like, I don't blame my friends. Like, what else are they meant to do? Like, for example, if your friend comes to school with the most clapped, chopped haircut, like, what else are you gonna do? Of course you're gonna flame them. And so you gotta think about it from their perspective. Like, it's so hard to resist the urge to flame someone. But why would you come to school the next day wearing a wig? So you're in 5th grade, bro. This would make it 10 times worse. You would have been better off just shaving your entire head compared to like coming to school with a wig. Because I assume it would have looked something like this. Imagine coming to school like this in the 5th grade. No wonder why your crush laughed at you, bro. I guarantee you never got with your crush ever again after that. You're in 8th grade now, bro. It's been 3 years and your crush still remembers this. But yeah, honestly, this is a pretty calm confession. I think everyone in the history of mankind has been through this before. So basically, there was this one group of people in my school who I really hated. The reason a lot deeper. But what happened was that I was running a haircut business in the changing room, and one day the same group of people, like the whole group, came in one lunchtime and all asked for haircuts tomorrow lunchtime. At the time I was doing it with my friend, we were both trying to not be broke, and he knew about my opinion on that group. He suggested that we make every one of them bald. The plan was simple: keep one person getting the haircut from me on one end of the changing room, while another getting a cut from my friend on the other side. The changing room had two sides that were out of view from each other, and each had separate entrances. So we blocked the mirrors with bags, PE kits, and sports equipment to prevent them from seeing, and they fell for it. We were very stupid and somehow didn't realize that the rest of the school would see their diabolical haircuts. So in the end, we only managed to boldify 2 of them. We got beat up by them and then suspended from school for 3 weeks after that, but needless to say, I regret nothing. Okay, I highly doubt they were so mean that they deserve to go bold, but at the same time, yeah, I don't really blame you. Like, this is literally the perfect revenge opportunity. Like, if they knew that they were badly bullying you beforehand, why would they trust you with their haircuts? Like, honestly, that's on them. That's their fault for doing that. Because if I was a bully and I was bullying this kid, I would never ever trust that kid to cut my hair. You should have given them this haircut. Like this, I think this would have been better than them going bold. But at my high school, yeah, we had this thing. There was like one guy doing haircuts for people. I think he was just trying to make some pocket money similar to you guys. But I don't think he would ever like intentionally make someone bold. Like boldify, in your own words, boldify someone. Because then once one person gets boldified, then no one else in the school would trust them to like get a haircut. And so then like they won't make any money for the rest of the year. So honestly, yeah, this is slightly questionable, I would say, but honestly, I'd say it's calm. I think this is a pretty calm confession. I would maybe do the same thing as well. One time I was dared by my friends to take $1 from the math teacher and flush it down the toilet, and my dumbass brain did it. Little did I know, my math teacher was banging my mum while I was at school. She is single. And when I came home one day, I saw my math teacher coming out of my mum's room and she had to explain everything. My teacher did that all for $1 freaking I flushed down the toilet. He was also married and his wife divorced him. Bro, I hate to break it to you, but I don't think your teacher did that for $1. I'm pretty sure your math teacher was already freaking your mother, like, before you did this thing with the $1. I'm pretty sure every single day that your math teacher had off, like, it wasn't actually a day off for, like, you know, mental health day off. He was secretly at home, at your home, freaking the frick out of your mom. I hate to break it to you, but in 9 months, you might have a sibling. You might have a new sibling spawned into this earth. And I think this entire time, you're just trying to gaslight yourself into thinking it was because of the $1 you took. Right, I guarantee the $1 had nothing to do with this. I guarantee if you offered him $1,000 to stop freaking your mom, he would not take that. He loves your mom's pussy so much that he'd be willing to sacrifice $1 million for it. It's a $1 million pussy, no offense to your mom. Even I want to try it at that point. If it's a $1 million pussy, bro, I want to try that. What's your mom's phone number? But anyways, yeah, this is a bit of a questionable confession. It's a bit strange how your math teacher is freaking your mom, but at the same time, bro, your mom is a baddie. Your mommy is an absolute baddie with a huge honker bonkers, mummy milkers, and a level 5 guy at maybe level 3. So yeah, I don't blame the math teacher. It's slightly questionable though. Someone put a tampon and pad machine inside the boys' bathroom, and everyone started making rumors, and there was a big fuss over the school, even though it was empty. So people thought someone took all of the pads, unmounted the whole goddamn broken machine, and threw it into a urinal. And they supposedly threw it so hard that it slightly dented the material on the pad machine. But since someone took all the pads, there was still some tampons left, so someone caught a boy with a tampon sticking out of his undies. The tampon mystery has never been solved. Bro, what is that dude doing with a tampon sticking out of his undies? Does this guy understand, like, how tampons work? Probably not. I assume he probably has no idea how they work. I'm pretty sure he may have tried to stick one of them up his butt, thinking it's meant to, like, you know, prevent leaks when you have diarrhea. Because me personally, when I have, like, explosive diarrhea, like, before the explosion, it's sort of like, it's a bit watery. It sort of leaks out of my ass a little bit. And, you know, if I check my undies, there's a bit of a, you know, it's a wet patch. We call it a wet patch. And so I guess sticking a tampon up there would prevent, yeah, it would prevent that wet patch. In theory, it would. So honestly, bro, I could make use of them. But yeah, they didn't have them at my school because I went to an all-boys school. And so I assume what happened here is that maybe the janitor was, I don't know, drunk or something, or maybe he was just, you know, on the DRUGS. And instead of installing the tampon and pad machine inside the girls' bathroom, he accidentally installed it inside the boys' bathroom. Maybe he was too afraid to go inside the girls' bathroom. Or maybe they didn't have like a female janitor to be able to install it in there. And I assume what happened was that when the boys saw the tampons and pads, they have never seen any of these in their entire life. They're probably like cavemen discovering fire. And so they're probably like grabbing all the pads and tampons and just like inspecting it, like wondering what the frick is this meant to be used for. And so they tried using it on themselves. And yeah, of course, you can't really use them unless you have like explosive diarrhea. You could technically use the pads as well if you had like leaking diarrhea out your like sort of ass. Because instead of the wet patch on my undies, I could just have the wet pad and I could just replace the pad. But anyways, I think it's a pretty calm confession, honestly. But yeah, for that one dude that got caught with tampons sticking out of his undies, yeah, slightly questionable. Although maybe he's still, you know, discovering himself. He wants to, I don't know, maybe he is like transgender, maybe. So maybe I'll say that's calm, okay? It's calm. It's honestly calm. We do not discriminate over here, and so if you're transgender, that's okay. That's calm. It's calm. So I was sleeping during class, and then the teacher busted in and started scolding one of my classmates because they didn't answer something in the exam. As I looked around my classroom, I turned to look at the quiet kid who put something in his pocket and walked over to the teacher. I saw him whispering stuff to the teacher, and for some reason she nodded her head and said thank you to the quiet kid as he handed her a juice powder thingamabob. The next day we found the teacher dead and the juice just innocently chilling in a cup. We ended up finding out the quiet kid gave the teacher a poisonous substance to mix up with the drinks, and the packet just so happened to look like an innocent juice powder packet. He ended up getting arrested and is now in jail. I miss him low-key. Bro, what do you mean you miss him low-key? That could have been you. If your teacher hadn't have taken the bullet, he would have given that powder to you and you would have been dead on the floor. Never trust a quiet kid at school. Like, I really hate to, like, you know, sort of reinforce any sort of stereotypes, but at the same time, bro, I swear, isn't the quiet kid, like, the most likely person to, you know... And so you always got to be careful. That's why you got to be nice to everyone, even the quiet kid. You got to be extra nice to the quiet kid, honestly. But the thing is, it wasn't the quiet kid that was getting scolded. It was just the quiet kid who came out of nowhere and just had enough of that teacher and just decided to end her. But yeah, honestly, that quiet kid needs a bit of help. I think he needs some help. That is not normal behavior that you do at school. One time when I was in school, I was playing Brawl Stars and I got a little too angry at me getting one-shotted and I smashed my phone against the ground screen first. Normal stuff. I did this before and my phone was fine and I didn't think anything of it until I lifted my phone up and saw it looking like a radioactive lake on the screen. I instantly burst into tears and my friends being my friends, they just laughed. I had a terrible mood for the entire school day and my friend got mad at me for being mad at him. So in PE, when I locked myself up in a bathroom stall, this motherfricker says to everyone, "Hey, my friend is dying," and I was ganged up on and everyone was in the bathroom looking over the walls, banging on the door, until these idiots had so much fun smashing that door that it just gave up and one of the hinges broke. I deadass went home crying and bawling my eyes out, and later my dad gave me his old phone, which is the one I'm currently writing this masterpiece on. I never touched Brawl Stars ever since. Bro, I think you might have some, anger management issues. You say you're a little angry. I think maybe you're a little bit too, like, a little more than angry. Also, why are you playing Brawl Stars while you're at school? Like, do you not have any friends to socialize with? Is this how people become, like, friendless in school? Like, no offense, in the most polite way possible. Like, I feel like in school, you should be, you know, socializing with other people, other humans, rather than playing, you know, Brawl Stars on your computer, on your mobile phone. Because you can play Brawl Stars on your phone anytime at home, but, like, at school, that is the only time for you to socialize. I'm pretty sure that's the entire point of school, so that you can, you know, make friends with other humans. But honestly, if my friend broke their phone over, you know, Brawl Stars or Clash Royale, I even if I'm their friend, I would still laugh. Like, it is pretty funny. It's very funny. I'd probably go like something like not funny, then laugh. Actually, that's really not that funny. So now you're stuck with your dad's old crusty phone and you're writing this masterpiece with it. I mean, I hope your dad's phone is so trash that you can never play Brawl Stars on it ever again. I think you need to be taught a lesson. I'm surprised your dad even gave you his old phone. He should have left you phoneless because, right, like, who breaks their phone? It's not like you dropped it on the ground. You intentionally smashed it. That is, bro, you are ungrateful. You are a spoiled child. But honestly, this is calm. I'd honestly say this is a calm confession. I think most people that age do this, but yeah, like me personally, I would never do this. Okay, so basically there was this projector that does presentations for assemblies, right? The computer that it was controlled by had airdrops on, and so I just renamed my phone Shrek's iPhone and then proceeded to drop the entire Shrek movie in 60p and deep fried audio. Yeah, those homeless kids in Africa are not getting donated to after that. There was some silliness trying to find out who did it, but they didn't catch me, but they did get my friend Tristan for no reason. They did let him go, which is good, but they were mad desperate. I'm still waiting for the next assembly. Bro, don't tell me that this was a presentation for a charity in Africa. So I think what was happening at this specific assembly was that they were trying to, you know, promote for people to donate to homeless people in Africa, but instead you airdropped the entire Shrek movie in 60p. Since when is 60p an actual thing? At first I thought this was 60 frames per second, but this is 60 pixels. This is like 1/6 worse than 360p. And so what happened next? Did the entire school have to sit through the entire Shrek movie for the next like 2 hours? So not only did you prevent homeless kids in Africa from receiving charity donation money, but you also made half your school deaf with the deep fried audio blasting through the speakers at the assembly. But anyways, okay, it's a little bit humorous. Honestly, this is something that I would maybe do like back when I was in school. So I'm gonna say this is slightly questionable. questionable. Honestly, it's a bit calm. If you ask me, it's calm. If you ask someone else, maybe they'll say it's slightly questionable. So my middle school had really bad teachers. Let's call them Karen teachers. And one of the teachers was Mrs. Smith, and she would freak out when the drinks in her water bottle tasted bad because she uses the old crusty, dusty, rusty water fountain every day. So one time, me and my friends found the source of the water fountain, and we decided to sneak into the school, and we snuck into the school at 1 a.m. And then we put Windex and dish soap into the water fountain. So 3 days later, we saw a news on TV, and it said one teacher and one student passed away due to poisoning, and the teacher in the 7th grade named Mark didn't show up for the rest of the year. Bro, I think the reason why they didn't show up is because they are the teacher and student that died. You're a murderer. You and your friends are murderers. Surely they catch you. Surely that's extremely easy to catch. Because don't most schools have security cameras? Like, they could have seen who came at 1 a.m. the night before, although they wouldn't be able to trace, like, when the water got infected. And so, bro, actually, you know what? That's actually very easy to get away with. You know what? I think you and your friends have successfully got away with murder. Congratulations. I mean, no, we shouldn't congratulate that. But honestly, I'm surprised she didn't die earlier because, bro, she's drinking from an old, crusty, dusty, rusty water fountain. Surely she gets some sort of disease. Can you get tetanus from that sort of rusty water fountain? But yeah, honestly, this is definitely not normal behavior. You might need some help. Like, it's not normal to murder your Karen teacher, even if they are a Karen. You need some help. The craziest thing that ever happened to me at school is that I got stabbed twice. Allow me to explain. So I was sitting in tech class and these two girls were talking absolute poo about me, and so I threw half a pencil at them. The pencil didn't have an upper half. I allegedly scratched one of them, making her stab me. And in the next class, which was science, I went to go stab her to try and even things out. I missed, so she stabbed me in the arm. Long story short, we both got suspended for a day. Yep, I got suspended for a day for scratching her, and she got suspended for a day for stabbing me. Bro, but I mean, why would you even attempt to stab her in the first place? Like, sure, she started at first, she stabbed you, but like, why would you need to go and even things out in the next class and stab her? Can't you just let it go and report her to the teacher? If you had reported her to the teacher immediately, like, she would have been the only one with the suspension and you wouldn't have been suspended. Because if you get suspended in high school, can't that like impact your college, like admissions and all that stuff? But also, even better, why didn't you just not throw the pencil at them in the first place? If you didn't throw the pencil at them, they wouldn't have tried to stab you. Yes, like, her stabbing you is pretty bad, but at the same time, she wouldn't have done that if you hadn't have thrown the pencil at them. But bro, getting stabbed 2 times in one day, not once, but twice, that has got to be some sort of record. Bro, you should actually apply like Guinness Book of World Records or something. But yeah, honestly, this is a pretty calm confession. One time, this kid in my school, let's call him Jasper. So Jasper and me were hanging out at lunchtime, and these guys approached us saying they had some special sugar and we should follow them. We didn't follow them, thank God, and we go about our day as usual. And when I'm at home on the news, it said they arrested a local DRUG dealer and that he had been in possession of loads of crack. Bro, what school do you even go to that is that close to the DRUG dealers? Does your school not have gates or anything? How does a DRUG dealer just walk into the school like it's nothing? Isn't that like a code? I don't know what code it is. Blue, gray, red, yellow. I could never remember all the codes. Okay, I think it's a code purple, code gray, code. Actually, okay, I can't even figure it out. But anyways, if your school is that easily accessible for like the DRUG dealers, I guarantee at least some students bought something from them. And I also suggest that you perhaps maybe move schools. Like, I don't know whether that school is safe. So honestly, yeah, this is slightly questionable.